Thank you for making out time to listen to this innovation, wisdom filled, and life transforming message from Dr. Joshua Kolawole. He is a Transforming Minds Evangelist with Valdymas College. Our passion is to make you a strategic innovator and help you move from a socialized mind into a transforming mind, a self-transforming mind. Now let's take a deep dive into the message.
I love Valdymas.
Good morning once again, and thank you for following me on this leadership series, Leading Your World. Leading Your World is a series that I've explained to us in our last encounter that it's going to take about 7 discourse that we used to discuss about this leadership concept. I need you to lead your world, because if you do not keep adding value to your world, there's no way you can even get value from your world. There's no way we can all see a beautiful world and change the world. So leadership is about bringing our light, our life, and our love into the world and using it to create righteousness, to bring peace, and to bring joy into this world. So during our last encounter, we went through the concepts as we're going to be discussing again. I am Dr. Kolawole Joshua, a Transforming Minds Evangelist. I am with Valdymas Intelligence LLC here in Grand Prairie, Texas. So for you to get what I'm saying, I explained in our last discussion that we have the world. And the world is made up of 3 kinds of people: the convenience-seeking people, we also have the efficiency-driven people, and then we have the self-transforming, the transforming people. And we explained that the convenience-seeking people are comfort-desiring people. The efficiency-driven people, they already own the compass of their life. They are independent, but they are still living just above the survival instinct. They are not impacting so much of the world. They lead followers in that realm. And then ultimately, the one I would love you to become is a transforming mind. And for a transforming mind, all you simply need to do is to become a leader of leaders, is to become a leader you're now interdependent. Your thinking is system-oriented. You're hoping to manage multiple teams and use and give your value to those teams and use it to build better. So that is the goal. That is where we're going. We also explained that the world is made up of darkness, disorderliness, and deserting. And this is dangerous because it has produced so many damaged minds, so many diseased minds, and so many dying or dead minds. The world is filled with darkness, disorderliness, and desertification. People are being deserted day by day. That's why the divorce rate is high. People desert themselves in businesses. People desert businesses. People desert nations. So it's a world that leaves people wandering in the wilderness of life. And so because of this, we all face the danger of desertification, of being damaged. The minds of many are damaged from guilt, from failures, from series of business failure, examination failure, failure to thrive, failure to get economic power, failure to be able to move from nations to nations, from cities to city. This failure has led to several impacts in the lives of many. This has also either induced or augmented the disease process in the heart of people. There's a lot of greed, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. There's a lot of depression, a lot of fear, a lot of doubt, a lot of anger, a lot of spite, resentment, hatred in people, a lot of jealousy and different form of popular and strategic and contented envy is all around because the minds of people are diseased. And then ultimately, this has led to dead minds or dying minds, because day by day, when they fail to thrive in the course of life, the signal life sends to their decision-making process is to die. And so a lot of people are giving up on the business of living every day. And what simply happens is that pushes a lot of people from either the efficiency part back to the convenience part, or from the transforming part to the efficiency, and from efficiency to the convenience part. But we must finish strong as leaders. We must build legacies. We must build sustaining system. So the last time I discussed about I discussed about identity. I discussed about discipline. And I promise that in our next discourse, I will take you from discipline and battle rhythm. Like I told you, I am Dr. Kolawole Joshua. I'm a managing partner with Valdymas Intelligence LLC here in Grand Prairie. I'm into branding, strategy, performance excellence, and quality institutionalization. I am actually a leadership expert. And leadership in quality training and capacity development is my core. So if you want health system assessment, policy development, quality improvement, and business plan development, you can reach out to me. You see the details at the end of the presentation. So we said, what's the role of discipline in leadership? You know, we've talked about identity, and now we're moving over to discipline. I've done a bit of discipline in the last discussion. So you can reach out to my first video series. It's on Instagram, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook Live, Facebook. So you can reach out. The role of discipline in leadership. We mentioned focus. Discipline ensures focus. It ensures orderliness. It ensures organization of your life. It ensures consistency. Discipline ensures effectiveness. Discipline ensures there's character in place. Character is built and is in place. Discipline also drives efficiency. Discipline drives punctuality. You hardly see a disciplined person get to a major event late. They come in before time. A disciplined person is a person of strength. A disciplined person carries a lot of maturity and capacity on the task. And a disciplined person is someone set for transformation. So today I am going to explain in details what I mean by the concept of discipline and battle rhythm. And you see, life is a battle for territory. It's a battle for space. It's a battle for your territory. You are actually continuously in the pursuit of space, of your territory. And I need you to get this concept right. We're in a battle for economic and or political power at every point. Economic and or political power. And why do we want this? One of the critical core for man is the ability to create change and to have control over every circumstances of his life. And at any point when you lose that control or power, that leads to an issue. And that is why when man loses control over his territory, over his space, his soul goes down. He feels sad. He feels depressed. His mind could get damaged. When a man writes an exam, he hopes to excel. When he excels, he knows that he has control. But when he doesn't excel, when he fails, then he has lost control over the circumstance. So life is a continuous battle for territory, for space. When you stop engaging in the fight, that day you qualify for captivity. So when you stop fighting for what you believe in, the things you value most, then you qualify for captivity in that area. Little wonder some people want to do some things they cannot because they are given up on the fight. And once you give up on that fight, you have qualified for captivity in that area. So when you give up on the fight for your family, then you have qualified for divorce. When you give up on the fight for your house, then you have qualified for someone else taking over, buying up your house. When you give up on the fight for your academic excellence, then you have qualified for captivity in ignorance. When you give up on the fight, just keep imagining it. Anything you give up on to fight for, to engage and possess, then you will somehow enter captivity in that area. That means you have lost power in that area. When you do not fight for what you do not want will quickly settle in. When you don't fight for what you want, what you believe in, what you do not want will quickly settle in. Therefore, you must have a battle rhythm, not a basic rhythm to life. You see, those who run on a basic rhythm are those who just live life effortlessly, carelessly, with complacency, with apathy. But when you catch the idea that you must be a man with a battle rhythm, you must be a man with a passion that is necessary to conquer. When you have that rhythm at the back of your mind, then you will fight very hard with strong discipline. And I want to warn you, you see, it's good to sweat more in the training of your battle rhythm so that you can bleed less on the day of war or cross-examination. We typically don't live in the days where people are running helter-skelter. There's war here and there. Of course, there are international-based wars, but locally, how many of us have seen a domestic war in recent time? So what I'm saying is this statement might not make sense, but let me crack it down. Let me crack it down to our reality. What I'm saying is a battle reading for a student who is reading for an exam. It's better you spend more time to read for the exam and get trained. It's better you get more time to read and get trained, and then you bleed less during exam because you will miss less questions during exam. The same way for you, if you are a finance person, you want to save, you want to invest more during your battle, using your battle reading, like weekly allocation for building wealth, monthly, the amount you're here marking for building your capital, building your base, either weekly, monthly, and then you can bleed less during the days of adversity. You have enough savings, enough wealth to be able to cater for yourself. So these are the representation. For your family, you had better do things of showing love, unity in the family, believing, investing in the family, speaking words over the family, encouraging everybody to develop their personal attributes and traits, encouraging personal development in the family so that everybody is engaged, so that on the days of cross-examination, everybody is standing firm. That's to bleed less on the day of war. So that is how it is represented in our generation now. That's how it's represented. And I would not deceive us. A battle redeem, and I will crack down this concept of battle redeem, but just listen to it as battle redeem for now. A battle redeem that is on a defense will never win a war. It will take a battle redeem that is success, that the goal is success to actually win a war. A battle redeem that is actually on the offensive. A battle redeem that is challenging, that is going all out to fight. That is the battle redeem that will win a war. And don't get me wrong, please. Every discipline, every battle redeem must have an objective and a focus. There must be a reason why you are engaging in a battle redeem. So an example, someone says, I want to make up my mind to the fasting every time, every week. You must have a goal. Do you want to deepen your relationship spiritually? Or an example, I want to be reading a book per week. You must have a goal. Do you want to become an expert in a certain field? And that's why you're reading books in that certain area. If it's book on leadership, do you want to become an expert in leadership? There must be a focus. So what is this concept of battle redeem? A battle is, of course, a fight or a struggle. Redeem is something that comes in exact timing. So that means there is a battle and there is a locked timing with it. So you see, people have said it, that one of the major frustration of men is the ability to be patient, ability to understand the kairos moment for things to get up to happen. And those who have a very excellent understanding of timing, what they do is they get prepared, they walk and keep getting prepared, keep getting ready. And they know once the timing hits, they take their opportunity, they take the advantage of that timing. So they are hard-working, smart-working people who are diligently engaged, and they take opportunity, they eat time and chance, they eat the opportunity, and they use it to move to the next level. They use it to move to the next level. So every discipline, every battle redeem is a product of discipline, and it must have an objective and a focus. Now, don't be deceived. Even in your battle redeem, no matter how ready and prepared you are, you will still meet with some deep-seated deceit. People will disguise. They will disguise like they are your best friend, best ally, and they could be the fifth column in your scenario. And that is why your eyes must always be open in your reading to know those who are with you and those who are not with you. Don't allow the enemy break your communication line with your source of wisdom and your source of strength. Always use surprise as a weapon. You see, discipline will strengthen you to understand that you cannot afford to break your source of information, your source of wisdom and strength, because once you start losing strength and you don't get to connect back to the headquarters, and so by headquarters, I mean, a popular example for you is if you're a leader, you must be reading leadership books. That will be your source of wisdom and your source of strength. You must have a roundtable meeting with leaders who you share ideas together. They feed you with more energy, more strength to go and give to the society. So when you do not have people like that, when you don't have mentors, you don't have coaches, you don't have regular meetings with them, regular discussions with them, you don't study your books, you don't study, then you're going to lose strength and you will lose the rhythm. So you need to also use surprise as a weapon. The purpose of life is not just to exist and arrive safely at death, please. The purpose of life is not just to exist and arrive safely at death, because a lot of people are just enter that auto cruise mode. Let me just continue this flow and just arrive safely. Whatever happens someday, I would just escape this world by dying. Don't just hang in there or just be showing up. You must decide to fight. I urge you today to relax your mind, breathe in and out, and tell yourself, I can do it. I'm going to fight for it. I would engage. I will become an engaged mind. And by the time you become an engaged mind, you move from the realm of just believing in just integrity. You move to the realm of responsibility, realm of faithfulness, that I will engage. I'll put in all I've got and I'll keep fighting. So if I have a certain realm, I would pursue the next realm. I would engage at a higher order. And you need to know that the bigger your vision, the bigger the vision you hope to accomplish, the more the discipline required to drive structures and to drive the system required to maintain your battle rhythm. So you must be disciplined. You must be disciplined. You need higher order of discipline to drive structures, drive system. So you can imagine comparing an aircraft with a Ford motor vehicle. Let's say the total parts in a Ford car can be like 10,000 parts. But for an aircraft, like let's say like a Boeing, we could say, okay, the parts may be up to like 10 million. And so imagine what the number of people that would take to couple a Ford, the number of time, discipline, resources, and compare with what would take to couple a Boeing. So you now understand what I mean. So a Boeing will not travel on the ground. It will taxi on the ground, but it has to be airborne. And when it's airborne, it must tunnel through to the blue sky. So what I'm saying literally is that if you're someone going for the blue sky, going for greatness, then you will have to tunnel through. You would have to have many parts, many structures and systems in place. And that means your discipline would have to be higher, because the realm where you hope to go and operate is not for chicken-hearted people. So I've come to you to present to you about battle rhythm and discipline today. And I hope that you will quite embrace this whole idea. You will push yourself, you will make sure you become, and you will not only see yourself as small or as a survivor, you will see yourself as a quantum leaper, someone who wants to become great, someone who hopes to travel far ahead, far higher. You will fight. You would fight with every breath in you to keep pushing on. That is the idea of the battle rhythm, and I hope you will understand with me. I would love to discuss this concept called diligence, because diligence tends to align more with the concept of the battle rhythm. So now we've done identity, we have finished discipline, and now I'm taking diligence for this series too. So what is diligence? Diligence is actually to strenuously give yourself to a cause or something. That is to passionately give yourself to a cause or something, to intensify your concentration on the matter. When people see you that you are fully concentrated on a matter, they leave you alone. They know, oh, this guy's lavishly giving himself to a cause. We must be diligent even in the face of intractable or overwhelming challenges. I've told you about the world. The world is a world where your minds are targeted for being damaged, for being diseased. They want to bring up the diseases in your mind so as to frustrate you. And it's also a world that is trying to kill the life in your spirit. So if you are not a diligent man who is traveling, and you know, this aligns more with the law of the big mo, the law of the big momentum. Imagine a train traveling at 100 miles per hour, and you go and put a block on its path. It will crush the block and keep going. But imagine if it's traveling at just 10 miles per hour and you put a block on its path. What's going to happen? The block will stop it. So I am saying you must be a man that is traveling on full throttle. You must be a man that is traveling on full throttle. You must be a man that is traveling on full throttle. Give yourself some target. Walk towards it. Make a difference in this world. Make a difference in this world. We must be diligent in the face of intractable or overwhelming challenges. We must keep going on. We must keep fighting on. Despite the degree of disorderliness, you must not give up on the business of living. You must be seen to keep carrying on in these challenging times. That is the essence of life. That is the essence of love. That is the essence of the light you carry in you. And that is the essence of leadership. Every one of us has been given the gift to walk with in this world. You have a gift in you. You need to discover it and you need to keep discovering it. We all must be diligent to realize the benefit of that gift. We all have a gift, but we must be diligent to search it out. We must be diligent to work it. We must be diligent to make it beneficial to the whole world. That is the essence of why you came. You are a gift to us. Do not deny us the opportunity to be gifted from you. Thank you so much for pushing yourself and making up your mind to intensify your concentration on yourself and lavishly give yourself to a cause. You see, it's an overwhelming world, and you can say, wow, there are 10 million problems. I can't solve any. Just pick one. You are not sent to solve many. Just pick one and solve it very well. And if you see 10 million people, pick one and help that person. When you help that one person can help another one. You can continue to help another one. And then the geometric progression starts going. But if you just say, I am overwhelmed by these 10 million problems, then we all aren't going to do anything. So we must be diligent. The strength of your diligence rests on the strength of your faith. You must be a man of strong faith. You must keep building your faith day by day. You must be diligent in the execution of your work. Yes, and I mean it. You must be diligent in the execution of your work. Whatever you call either your job for now or your work, if you have discovered your purpose, you must be diligent in it. You must be seen to be doing this thing assiduously. It must be the iterations and the titillations that drives you. People must see you wake up in the morning believing in that dream, in that goal, in that cause, in that pursuit. Another thing is your moral courage or your strong integrity, your virtue. I need you to get this clearly. Moral courage, moral courage, moral courage. Two words combined together. You must be a man of strong moral values, and you must have the courage to defend it either privately or publicly. Moral courage, virtue. You must be a virtuous person. If you set up to achieve a goal, you must not sell out. You must not violate principles. I am saying, as a husband, you must stay loyal, faithful to your wife. The two of you must work together to achieve goals. I'm saying you must not be a husband or a wife that sells out. As a boss at work, as a leader at work, you must be a man of moral courage. You must work by strong moral principles, and you must have the courage to defend it either in private or in the public. And so this is when we say diligence. The diligence is worthwhile when you're hardworking and we know you to be a man of moral principle. Like, we cannot leave a 16-year-old girl to work with you. We are wondering, I hope you won't misbehave with the young lady and destroy our own values too. Because you already have a damaged mind, we do not want you to damage the mind of the young girl, because it will always end in shame or disaster. If you do not stop, if you're already in it, or if don't do it, if you have not started. So we are saying you execute your work, but more importantly, your moral courage, the character you have must be so strong. It must be so strong. And then the next thing is your knowledge of truth and principles about the goal. You see, you must keep updating your knowledge day by day. Knowledge is critical. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is the soul of wisdom. In all your getting of knowledge, you must get understanding. Because the amount of truth and principles you know about the goal both the technical part of the goal and the adaptive part of the goal will go a long way to help you. So you must be diligent. You must be diligent. And then self-control. You must be a man of strange self-control. You must be able to control your tongue. You must be able to control your appetite. Appetite for food, appetite for sex, appetite for even drinking. As in, you must regulate your drinking to the water and basic soft drinks. Because when you become an alcoholic, you will lose your value. You will lose your value. It's only a matter of time. You must be a man of strange self-control. All these things work together as a system to drive diligence. Don't ignore one part of the principle and say we'll keep dealing with that later. So I must tell you, it requires a lot. You must have self-control over your tongue, over what your eye sees, over what your hand touches, over what your mind embraces. You must have a strong self-control, because a city without some controls, without boundary, is a city that is vulnerable to any form of attack at any time. So you're like a city without a wall. Perseverance. Perseverance, it's the trademark of every champion you will ever meet. It's the trademark of every champion you would ever meet. You must be a man of patience and perseverance. You must have the ability to stay comfortable under an uncomfortable condition and still be delivering excellence over a long period of time. Honor. The ability to reward people for who they are. The ability to give back to people who they are. It's honor. You must be smart enough to identify greatness in your environment and accord greatness that value, that honor, that respect. We are mandated to honor every man. You can't look down on anybody. But look, some people had, by reason of sacrifice, done some extra. That extra is what I'm talking about to honor greatness. That extra is what I'm talking about to honor greatness. Imagine if I'm in the same room with Barack Obama. I have to honor that greatness. If I'm in the same room with Kobe Bryant, then I have to honor that greatness. If I'm in the same room with, just name them, greatness. If you're in the same room with them, or even an environment where you need to give them the honor, then humility. Humility does not mean you should think so low of yourself. Or it's not that you should think of yourself low. It is telling you to have an exact awareness of who you are, your competence, and let your competence match your confidence. And you must be ready to pay the price to keep growing. That's humility. So it doesn't mean you should molest yourself or hypocritically use yourself to satisfy people. No. It means you should have an exact evaluation of who you are and then rise with time. Be ready to grow. Be ready to grow with training, with teaching. Be ready to grow with mentorship under providential relationships. Be ready to grow. That's the essence of diligence. What are the benefits of diligence? Number one is stability. Diligence teaches you strength of character. And that strength of character is built over time. So diligence over time builds your strength of character and makes you a stable person. When you say yes, you're reliable, you're dependable. It gives you vitality. You have mental and emotional vitality because diligence will test your character and mettle. And it will test if you deserve to go to the next phase or not. Then diligence will build in you realization of results. There won't be barrenness or unfruitfulness in your environment. You will be a man always smashing goals, smashing goals, smashing goals. And once you keep smashing goals, that realization will keep building some stored energy, stored hope in you. And when you catch the next ideology, you would match on it with the realization that you can achieve this. Then it helps you accumulate power. It builds both economic and political power for you. Accumulation of power, social power, power in relationship with people who you had worked before, led before, and they keep believing in you. It will improve your perception about life. You will never think of yourself low, think of your team low, because you know that you have achieved the unimaginable before. You will believe in each other. And then it creates opportunities for new and bigger privileges, new and bigger opportunities. Don't forget, a diligent captain sails with discipline and high morale. And the quality of his journey depends on absolute discipline, strong faith, and consistent obedience. A diligent captain sails with discipline. So I'm Dr. Kolawole Joshua. The next class we'll be talking about wisdom. And you know, wisdom is the principal thing. So we will be talking about wisdom. So I would urge you to please take your time out, listen to the next video, which will be about wisdom. You need to learn about wisdom and orderliness for your life if you want to be a leader that will leave a legacy thereafter. So please, I just wanted to join this series. This is series 2. This is series 2, and we'll talk about leadership, order, legacy, and then up till the end. So we still have a lot. I am Dr. Kolawole Joshua. I'm a managing partner with Valdymas Intelligence LLC in Grand Prairie. I'm a leadership expert. I am into branding strategy, performance excellence, and quality institutionalization. If you have a project problem, you can reach out to us. And there's my cell number and my email address. If you please listen and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more inspiring and life transforming messages and information. Thank you so much for your time.